I'm building a £100 million team and then putting them in 3 different leagues to see how they perform. But there is a twist. I'm only allowed to use a certain amount of budget per position. So for example, we first of all need a goalkeeper, and we would then have to spin the wheel of budget. And the first spin lands on 7 million. So we get £7 million to sign for a goalkeeper. Now what goalkeepers can we sign that are worth 7 million? These are our 2 options. We can go with Areola because he's younger but worse. Or we can go for Summer, who's also worth 7 million but a lot older. There is obviously only one right choice here. I'm obviously going with Summer. It would be stupid not to. So that's our first signing to this £100 million team. We will be spinning this wheel for every position in the team. The wheel adds up to £90 million in total, so that we have 10 million to spend on the bench. And in the end, we'll put this team in the worst league, a mid-tier league, and the best league on the game to see how a £100 million team performs in each tier. But let's choose right back next, and spin the wheel for the right back. What will our budget be for there? Only 4 million. Okay, that's not bad, because I want to use the lower budgets on less important positions such as right back. But what can we get for 4 million? So I have these 2 options. Ricardo Pereira is a little younger but only 75. Meunier is a little older but 76. But I think age doesn't matter as much when it's only 1 season. So I will go ahead and sign Thomas Meunier as our right back for the team. Okay, so we now have a right back and a goalkeeper for the team, and still 89 million left to our budget. So for next position, I'll actually choose our left center midfielder. Let's spin the wheel for there and see what our budget will be. Okay, hold up, 14 million. That's technically our first big transfer to the team. 14 million is a lot for us. Mkhitaryan is worth around 12 million, so we might be able to do a little better. And Modric is worth 14.5 million, so we can actually get him. He seems like our best option, so I've done it. Luka Modric is joining us. The midfield is already goated, no matter who else will be in it. But let's actually go for an attacker now. A right winger. Let's spin the wheel of budget and see what it lands on, and we get 8 million, so not a lot. Wingers tend to be more expensive. We could go with Timothy Weah, who's worth around 8 million, or Miguel Almiron. Timothy Weah could grow, but Almiron is 1 rating higher. But I'll actually not pick the old player for once and chose Timothy Weah. He's 76 rated but can grow to 79. I think that's pretty good for only £8 million. So we have a decent team so far. But let's get a center back into this team. Let's first spin the wheel of budget. And no way. We've landed on 18 million, which is the highest budget on this wheel. So this center back is going to be our most valuable position. But who should we sign for that position now? So I think we have these 2 options. Lucas Beraldo is 77, but only 20 years old, so he could grow. Fabian Schär, however, is 82, but he's old, so he could drop in rating. But since this is only 1 season, then I'm going to pick Fabian Schär. He's a lot better for pretty much the exact same price. So welcome to the team. That will be our first center back and also the most expensive player for our team. I think for our next position, we should be going for a right center midfielder. I'm hoping we get something decent on the wheel. Let's see. And we do get 11 million, which is not bad at all for right center mid. I think it's going to have to be a player such as James Ward-Prowse. So I have now signed him to the team. And you know what? James Ward-Prowse is not bad at all. He could score some free kicks for us. Let's go with a left back next. And let's spin the wheel to see what the budget wheel lands on. And we get 1 million. Damn. But I actually think that's good. So we get to waste our 1 million on a left back. But who do we even get? Patrick Van Aanholt could have been good to get, but looks like he's retiring. Looks like our next best option will be Juan Bernat then. Not a bad player also, but obviously not great at all. But he will be our left back. But I now think it's time for us to take our CAM now. This will be big. Hopefully we get a decent budget from the wheel, and we get 9 million. I will definitely take that. That's good. Now, do we go with experience and sign Thomas Müller? Or do we go with potential and sign Baldanzi? Or do we go with a mix and go for Plea? I feel like whatever choice I make here, you guys will scream at me. Please don't. But I think I will go with the in-between option and sign Plea as our cam, so he's now joining us. And that completes our midfield, a pretty solid midfield. Now, only 3 positions left. Our left winger and striker, and then also our center back. I think let's go with an attacker first. Our left winger, what budget will we get for that? And we do get 6 million, but it almost landed on 2. But 6 million for a left winger, I don't feel like that's a lot. And these 3 are our options, basically. Perisic is obviously the best, but he's really old. Might break a leg for being so old. Mavididi obviously makes most sense because he's youngest. But I would like to sign Thorgan, just because he's Eden Hazard's brother. So I've chosen him. I can basically say we have Hazard on our team, but only 2 positions left, striker and center back. And I want to save striker for last, so let's go with center back now. Only 2 and 10 million left. So what will we get? And we get 2 million. I think I'm happy with that, because that means 10 million for our striker. But let's first find a center back for 2 million. Otamendi could have been nicer, but he's just a bit too expensive. I think Jan Vertonghen is our best option here. He's pretty high rated for his price, obviously because of his age, but it's still a good signing for only 2 million, and that now also also completes our defense, and there is only one position left, our striker, and the only budget left on the wheel is 10 million. That's a pretty good budget for that. That price range basically gives us these 4 options, and I think let's not waste much time and just pick the best here, which is obviously Aubameyang, and that's our final signing for the starting 11. That starting 11 for 90 million looks pretty solid. We obviously still have a bench and 10 million to spend, so I will not waste your time too much and just quickly sign them all one by one. So for our bench goalkeeper, I've gone with Muslera for 600,000, Ashley Young as a backup right back for 700,000, and this Casco guy as a bench left back, Marcus Rojo as a bench center back, and for the 2 midfielders, I've gone with Pizzi, but also Santi Carzola, Jacob Murphy's brother Josh. Murphy will be on our bench, and last bench signing will be Edinson Cavani. So this is what our final team looks like, the 100 million pound team. I will now be putting them up in 3 different tiers of leagues to see how different a 100 million pound team performs. And we're starting with the worst league on the game, which is the Indian League. They should go undefeated here, but they might not. Let's just sim the season and see how they do here. So I've now simulated till the end of the worst league season, and we do top league as expected, but did lose 2 games. They beat Kerala Blasters in the semi-finals, but oh my god, they lost to Bengaluru in the final. That's embarrassing from our team. So a 100 million pound team did still top the worst league. Now let's try a mid-tier league, which will be the Eredivisie I'm trying out. Now they aren't expected to just top the league, so let's see how they actually do. I've now simulated till the end of the Dutch season. And let's just check the league. We didn't get relegated, which is a good start. We didn't finish below 8th, but we did finish in 6th place, which is pretty alright. I would have expected a little better. But anyways, let's try the final tier, the best and strongest league on the game, which is obviously the Premier League. Let's just see how they do there. This is gonna get interesting now, because they got 1st in the worst league and 6th in the mid-tier league. So let's see what they get here. I've now simulated the full season. So let's see where they ranked. And they didn't get relegated, which is always good to see. They didn't finish 10th either, not 9th, 8th, or even 7th, but they did get 6th, which is the exact same as the mid-tier league. That's very weird, but still pretty good for a 100 million team. Wait, how did Arsenal win the Premier League? Anyways, so they end on 1st in the worst 6th in the mid-tier and also 6th in the best tier. Not what I expected at all. But if you want to see more experiments just like this, then like and subscribe and comment what I should do next.